And it makes me real sad.
Hey, Marco, in case you're wondering, I just broke some wind.
Good job.
Ha! Ha!
In preparation for our match.
See,
Good luck, Marco.
Thanks,
He's
sir.
gonna
Wow.
need it, because it smells rank.
and then Justin puts his money on the defending champion.
You got a limb there.
No balls.
I'm really
there.
fucking out of it though. Let's see what happens.
Take it easy,
Alright,
guys.
hold on.
Alright,
Let
alright,
me see. Let me see if I can do this because I'm now halfway through my fourth, and I don't know how this is gonna go. Yeah, I can,
Oh,
I
hold
can
on.
barely
Leave-
even
leave
throw.
Match. Leave match.
Come on,
I
Marco.
forgot to turn. Listen.
Come on.
Listen. I'm sorry.
Alright, I left. Ugh.
Darren Sharper. That's then get on.
This
I love
nigga
this.
put him on his back. He got a broken leg.
And he.
Oh shit.
Oh god. Alright, let's see if I can do this. Alright, let's try. Alright, hold on. I gotta give me a minute here.
Yep.
I know you just scored and you
That didn't
expected
count.
me.
That didn't count because he wasn't ready.
I know you expected me to shoutcast that,
I was like,
but
come on,
give
what,
me
nothing?
give me a minute. Hold on.
That was bullshit, Marco.
You scored too quickly.
You
Okay.
went low,
Yeah.
or you went high, and it still worked.
I don't even know.
Alright.
Piece of shit, Marco.
Give me a second. I gotta get coordinated here.
Huh. Coordinated? Motherfucker, Marco. I'm rematch.
Nice.
Alright.
Oh, are you already conceding?
No, rematch happened. It's a best of 3. Rematch was called.
Wait, what?
No, I'm just saying after this is gonna be a rematch because
Alright.
man, I'm gonna take the last of this turn just to study your moves, but
Alright, after the pinch, Gandalf does manage to get the ball off onto the side. He doesn't grab the boost on his way over. A little bit surprising. We'll see if Wind... He does stop himself with the quick bicycle hit. He doesn't actually hit the ball, but he's at least stops himself, gets himself into position. It heads back into the blue side corner. Gandalf on the defense, playing rather aggressively. Doesn't actually head to the goal, but heads for the ball. A little bit surprising here. Wind does get position, but he gets batted out of the way by Gandalf, who misses the ball. A little bit unfortunate there. Had he hit the ball, he would have been in a great position to get into the ball as Wind was overextended. If you watch on the replay,
Oh,
right
man.
there, Wind was in bad position, but he missed the ball, which gave him the ability to get the goal 3-0. Less than 50 seconds into the game. It looks like Wind most likely has this win secured. I know Gandalf did not do very well in the 1v1 tournament.
Shit. Bring it the
hey, incorrect.
He's going
sir.
up against the Grand Master here, Wind, who does get the outplay on the bounce, sets himself up for the goal.
Oh,
Doesn't
bad,
quite get the angle, though. A little bit surprised. It might be the alcohol talking, but he should have hit the ball off the wall
You son of a
and then bounced back for an easy goal there while Gandalf was out of position. He gets in great position here off the jump. Still has the ability to score. Wind
damn it.
missing the ball, but hits Gandalf instead. It looks like it was just honestly BM at that point saying, hey, I can't get the ball, but I can hit you. Just, honestly, probably just to get Gandalf on tilt with the 0-3 lead. That's probably a solid tactic, to be honest with you.
Get over
Ball
there.
doesn't quite get into the goal as Wind overshoots it, but Gandalf successfully misses the ball twice. Let's watch the replay one more time. There's the first miss, swings back around, gets hit, not necessarily a miss, but does get hit out of the way as Wind makes it back around from inside the goal for the goal.
And
We'll
fuck
see
you,
if this
Marco.
continues. Still 3 minutes, 20 seconds
not
left.
going.
We'll see if at least Gandalf can stop the clean sweep. Bounces off the wall to himself, but Wind gets
Oh.
a good hit back. We'll see if he can set it up.
Fuck.
Hits it way too high. Probably should have jumped and flipped forward to hit it low. Bit of a misplay there, but again, like I said, with a 4-0 lead and a bit of alcohol talking, we can forgive that. Gandalf hits it off the wall to the side. Wind struggling to get back in time. Misses the ball, and Gandalf with the goal. Ladies and gentlemen, is this possibly the comeback? There's still 3 minutes left. 3 goals is definitely possible. There's the front flip. Keeping it nice and low, like I say. Wind misses the ball. Honestly, a bit of an amateur mistake. We'll see if he's able to correct himself, get himself back out of this rut. Gandalf staying back, again surprising. We've seen a rather
Ah, you
aggressive
piece of
play from
shit.
him before. The defensive play does at least get him the save, and he is able to bat the ball away into the corner out of position for Wind. Wind hits it back, it's in pretty good position for him, then hits it too far to the side, but Gandalf gets himself into the goal
Yes!
with the hero save just off the side. Wind took a little bit too long to actually get the ball into the goal. He tries to hit it sideways, doesn't quite get the angle, and has to do it a second time, which gives Gandalf enough time to get in position. Misses the ball on the side. That should have been a free goal. This is definitely the alcohol talking. This is why you don't drink and drive, kids. This is perfect example. He does manage to get the goal off the side. Now, we can watch that one more time, but really, it's not much of a play. He just hits it straight. Right there. There it is. Coming off the side. Gandalf doesn't hit the ball, unfortunately, which leaves the ball sitting in a stationary position for Wind to make the goal. Not too much to talk about there. 1-5. Again, Gandalf with the aggressive play. A little bit surprised off the break. Most people understand that in a 1v1 situation, you don't want to hit the ball first. Still surprised that he hits it first. Probably surprised that he actually went for the ball there and missed. So he was out of position, expecting Gandalf to hit the ball, not expecting it to sit in the middle. Had he had a teammate, that would have been an easy goal, but because of that lack of focus, it's an interesting play. If you watch the replay one more time, it's because Gandalf missed the ball. Maybe it was actually really a subconscious juke. He probably knew that Wind expected him to hit the ball and had the mental outplay, causing Wind to fly past the ball. They're expecting it to get hit, leaving it in a stationary position so he was able to make the easy goal. That's a really nice play, what we like to see from Gandalf. Not necessarily the most mechanically focused player, but when it comes to the mental game, he really does shine, and that's what we like to see from players. They know their limitations. They understand that when they can't make the mechanical gameplay, they really need to get into the other player's head to be able to get those goals. And that's how he's been able to get those 2 goals. So we see he was on the defensive. Wind does slightly get out of position off the wall there. Bounces off the side. When he meant to ride up on it, he probably jumped a tiny bit early there. Again, it's really the alcohol that's affecting that timing. It really is unfortunate because that would have been a free goal. Gandalf does bat him out of the way, kicks him into his own goal, which puts him out of position for the goal there, and the ball sends back over to orange side into the corner. We'll see if Gandalf is able to make a play. He generally has a hard time capitalizing on the ball when the ball's on orange side position.
It's so hard to play this game.
Now, honestly, Wind probably should not have the color commentary turned on. It appears to be inhibiting his play. Fortunately, it doesn't matter because the skill level, and you can see the experience coming in here. Gandalf circles around, but Wind bats it over the top of him for an easy goal off a minor, not really an area, really just a jump. There was no boost used to gain air there. We'll see how it happens off the pinch. Gandalf learning, definitely getting better with the actual just understanding that you shouldn't hit the ball first. If you watch on the replay, he doesn't boost. He stops his boost early towards the end to let Wind hit the ball just before him so he could get a really good ricochet. And knowing that it's off the corners, Wind shoots himself up into midair, which lets Gandalf get the free goal. No one can miss that shot. Hell, even I can hit that shot, and I'm terrible at this game. Alright, back into the possibly 10th point of the game. We're seeing here, Gandalf does hit the ball off to the side. A good block there. Does stop the aggression. Wind does win the 1v1 with 8 seconds left, though. There's no way Gandalf's going to be able to make it. Wind does get one more point in there for the Fantasy League. I'm sure his fans are real happy about that. That's going to be 2 points in the Fantasy League. And it's going to be a quick 10 for the win. But we'll see if he's able to get any more. 5 seconds left. He's going to need a really good break to get 2 more points for that Fantasy League. I know everyone wants that free Batman skin for getting number 1. We'll see if he's able to get off. Sits back in the goal. Wind doesn't actually go straight. He decides to flip forward. Probably not expecting Gandalf to stay in the goal. Had he just run straight at it, he would have most likely hit it up into the air for a free goal, but he really expected Gandalf's skin. But at that point, Gandalf had probably given up, knowing that there was no point left. With a 4-point lead and 10 seconds left.
Done.
That was over.
I was also upside down, okay? But that was an upside down
We'll
backward
head over
save.
for the post-game analysis. Just to see exactly what went on.
Hit A, Corey.
Really, just honestly on a skill level, Gandalf was a bit outclassed in that one. I'm surprised the show match was set up here with these two players like this. We basically knew how the game was going to end before it began. But, you know, when show matches happen like this, it's really more of a popularity contest than a skill contest at this point. But at least it drew the fans in. We saw a good match. Gandalf did manage to get 3 points off Wind, which honestly more than what we expected. So it was a better game than what we expected. But when you come down to it, Wind just played the better ball game, and that's why he won that game.
Shit.
As in the best of 3, we'll see what happens here. Hopefully Wind will be a bit too high on his high horse after that win. We'll see if Gandalf will be able to make a play. Now, Wind tends to be a little bit arrogant with his skill level, so we'll see if he's able. Perhaps he might outposition himself in the aggression, but I don't think a player of that caliber will make that kind of mess up. Again, Gandalf's still going for the play. We'll kick it back over to our play-by-play desk.
Oh my god! No!
Now we'll let them take over the match. Alright, Jim, back to you. Alright, thanks, Bob. So, when getting back off to the play, we see a pretty decent chess. It's relatively even. It does head over to the blue side. Wind does manage to kick it back. That could have potentially been a goal, but it was more of a block and not necessarily a shot on goal. It does put him in good position. Gandalf couldn't quite get there in time. If you look here, he is past the ball after it gets hit by Wind. He then stops. If you look there, and this is what we like to see, he didn't use the E-brake. He actually used reverse to stop himself, which caused him to get back and get into position as Gandalf overshot the ball. Really understanding the skill of that player, and that's what we'd like to see from Wind. Now, Wind does have a full booster. Gandalf doesn't have as much boost. He does pick up the blue side boost. We'll see if he's able to make a play on that. Shoots the ball over the top of the goal, but it's really in poor position. Wind does bat it over to orange side.
Oof.
And an explosion there. Gandalf definitely able to make an easy save, obviously with no aggressor. Wind respawning on the opposite side, going for the boost there. Gandalf does set himself up. We'll be able to see if he's able to make the shot. Wind does get there with a minor aerial. Now, is this kind of play we like to see? I'd really like to break that down a minute while they're playing. Wind with the easy goal. Obviously, Gandalf not expecting him to make that return. But I like to break it down. Now, you can't see it quite in this replay because it happened slightly beforehand. But Wind jumps and boosts while in midair before activating the second rocket propel of his car. And that allows him to get a tiny bit more distance so that he can actually change direction while in midair. And that really goes to show the experience that this player has in these 1v1s. And that's why he was able to win the last tournament. Deep in the blue side here, but Wind's not concerned. He knows he can get it past Gandalf on the 1v1. Doesn't quite get it into a decent position, though. A little surprising from Wind here. Usually when he comes off a break like that with a free shot, especially with Gandalf or extended, he normally is able to get the shot on goal. Fortunately, it doesn't matter because a good bounce set it up for himself. Jukes back around off the E-brake. Now, you watch here. He actually boosts through the E-brake to make his turnaround slightly faster. And that was why he picked up the boost on the middle side as he was heading back over there to give him 100 boost, to give him enough boost to boost around the corner of his own brake. Of his own E-brake, excuse me. And that was why he was able to get in position before Gandalf, because Gandalf did have the correct play and was in position, but he just couldn't quite get there in time because of the boost that was gained. Now, both players sitting at 100 boost here. Wind picking up that side and Gandalf picking up the corner. Gandalf definitely has position here. We'll see if he can get the outplay. Wind does have the straightforward front flip. It looks like it should be a free goal. Gandalf definitely might have overcommitted a bit, honestly. I'm surprised. Gandalf probably not necessarily the most mechanically strong player, but even with that sort of play, we wouldn't expect him to commit that strongly. He should have really expected Wind to make that return. I'm surprised to see that kind of misplay from a veteran of this caliber. Again, especially even with his mind games being the best strategy he has, on a mechanical standpoint, he knows Wind is normally going to make that kind of return. Now right there, he was able to win the 1v1, so we'll see. He does get a full boost. Wind does not have the 100 boost. It does head over into the corner. Wind does able to pick up that corner boost while the ball's up in midair. That's the thing about the 1v1s. While the ball's up in midair, you know you have no ally to back up, so you have time to go and take that boost. Both players sitting at roughly 100 boost. Gandalf slightly less than Wind in this situation, but Ball gets batted in the side. Again with these mid-airs. Wind in a poor position here on the opposite side of the map. Gandalf gets a free hit over to blue side. Both players going for the ball, hitting it back into the wall here. Let's see what happens. Gandalf doesn't quite make the ball or the player. Honestly, he could have hit either one that would have worked out for him, but a straight bounce off the wall. Wind can't quite get into position. A decent shot on goal, actually. That would have gone in had not Wind interfered on the race back to the goal. If you look at the side, he was able to bounce it slightly off the side of his car, heading it towards the goal post. He doesn't quite get around to it and heads into his own goal. Honestly, I'm a little bit surprised Gandalf didn't make a goal there. All he had to do was drive straight and boost once to the left, and that would have been a free goal. I wonder if we'll be able to see it off the replay here. I don't think it'll go back quite that far. We'll see what happens. You can't see it, but had Gandalf simply jumped straight in the air and then flipped to the left, he would have been able to get an easy goal as Wind overshot the ball much farther than we expect from that sort of player. But honestly, a 5-0 situation, like I said, this is a show match really at this point. Gandalf using his popularity to get views here. You know, it's when you have a name like Gandalf, really, you just draw the crowds in. Wind, he's definitely an up-and-comer. He's got the skill, where Gandalf, definitely an older veteran. You know, at least he does stop the shutout there. You can see here, Wind hits into the wall. Now that wasn't necessarily on the fault of Wind. Gandalf did actually clip him when he went underneath the ball. He hit him up higher than Wind was expecting. So that was the correct block, but he didn't quite have the boost to make it as good as it should have been, which allowed Gandalf to get the goal here. Again, now, we keep saying off his breaks, and I believe one day Gandalf will one day pick it up, but you really shouldn't try to hit the ball first, because it just lets the other player ricochet off you to their side of the ball. Fortunately, Wind, he got one bounce, but he bounced it off the wall a second time. Had he had a teammate, that would have been a great center, but in a 1v1, really, when you have one free bounce, you need to set yourself up for the goal. And Gandalf was able to make it back in time for the block, gets into the goal, turns it back around, able to grab the boost. He's heading down the middle. This could be a shot on goal. He's trying to juke. We'll see if he's able to get it. Wind bunts it out of him. Now, as you see, Gandalf tried to go off to the side, but when he went off to the side, he should have jumped and flipped in midair. You can see it here in the replay. He should have jumped and flipped in midair, but didn't proceed to do that. He tried to drive around and change directions without leaving the ground, which gave Wind enough time to boost forward and snatch the ball away from him. At this point, Gandalf knows it's over, tries boosting forward, expecting Wind not to jump. You can see it here in the replay. Wind doesn't actually jump smartly. Had he jumped and hit that up in the air, that might have potentially been a goal from the orange side. But he keeps his cool, heads straight, sees Gandalf going up in midair, knows he shouldn't jump. Same thing happening twice. And at that point, had there been a surrender button in this game, it looks like it would have happened. Really, Wind's just getting points for the fantasy. Anyone that's got Wind on their draft for the #1 in the league, really happy with this sort of play. Knowing Gandalf probably wouldn't win this game, but the fantasy points, I mean, everyone wants that free Batman skin, and they know if they do manage to win. Wind actually backing off here. I'm surprised to see. It's a little bit of BM. He's saying, hey, Gandalf, come at me. I know I can outplay you. Does manage the block, even with the free shot as he walks back into the goal. 7 seconds left. Looks like this is most likely going to be an 8-1 game. At least Gandalf does manage to get the shutout. Wind does manage to score one more time, making it a 10-point total game. You can see here again, it was pretty much over. Once there was 7-1 with a 6-goal lead and only a minute left, there was no way Gandalf was able to bring it back. And we see best of 3, excuse me. Wind does manage to hold his title. Again, he really was the favorite in this match, especially versus Gandalf. Gandalf, a seasoned veteran, but on a mechanical scale, normally we like to see Wind as the better player in this particular situation.
Best of 5, come on.
Best of 5, Jesus. Oh,
Yeah.
alright.
You'll need one more. Alright.
Alright, hold on. I need some water.
I need more drinks. Shit.
Oh, God.
Corey, hit
It's
the
so
A button.
What? Oh. Yeah, I got you. I hit the A button. It didn't do anything. Oh, it did. It did. All right. All right. Give me a minute.
Yep.
Give me. I'm gonna let you guys go for like the first minute, and then I'll come in at like 4 minutes. So just bear with me a minute. I gotta I gotta collect myself. Jesus, do you guys know how hard it is?
I can imagine.
Like, do you guys have any idea how drunk I am while trying to shoutcast this?
Dude, it's so good.
That's a pretty good idea.
Alright, well I was gonna wait till a minute, but after seeing that play, I think I can start here.
Oh shit.
So both players missed the ball off the aerial, and Wind does manage to recover before Gandalf does and hits it over to the orange side. Gandalf does manage to hit it back. Wind with the bicycle hit, but he doesn't quite get the angle he's looking for. Gandalf has the break. Wind manages to boost in front of him. I'm actually surprised he was able to get there in time. Gandalf still has the greater position, does manage to get the ball, actually gets the first goal. This is the first time we've seen Gandalf taking the lead in this best of 5. Hits it off the side of the wall. Wind going for the boost, not imagining Gandalf can make the play. A bit of an underestimation of his opponent's skill. Really right there. An unfortunate play by Wind. Now, normally, we like to see Wind definitely have a clean mechanical game. But he's really underestimating his opponent there, and that's what let Gandalf score in that goal. Now, believe it or not, Gandalf actually has the outplay off the joust here. I don't think we'll be able to see in this replay, but he doesn't boost initially. It's actually a fantastic play. Puts it in great position. Misses the ball. Actually has a second opportunity for the goal as Wind is stuck back, but misses the standstill front flip. It only goes straight in the air. It's really a shame. That should have been a goal. Had he had a teammate, that would have been an easy goal. Here you see Gandalf really understanding that joust mechanic after, in this best of 5, he's really getting the read on Wind when it comes to those jousting, knowing how much he's going to boost and making a play off of it. And that's where he's able to take a lead in this best of 3. Let's see how this joust plays out. We'll see if Wind maybe hangs back a little bit. I see him there go to the side. Now, in this case, normally you like to see the hit second, but Wind goes off to the side, understanding Gandalf's going to wait for him, and gets an angle. It's really a shame. He hits it just slightly too far to the right. Otherwise, that would have actually been a goal off the joust, as Gandalf waited back, expecting him to hit it. But Wind has gotten wise to the mind games. After getting 2 goals scored off him off a bad joust, he's really starting to understand that Gandalf is simply waiting for him. And we'll see if both players will be able to adjust their timing here. Now, if you look here,
what? Come on.
off the side, Wind hits into the corner. Now, normally you wouldn't expect to see too many plays off the corner. Had Gandalf hit it, nothing would have come of it. Unfortunately, he flew past a little bit to the left of the ball, which hit it off the side of the wall. Wind was able to make an easy sideways flip as the ball was almost stationary into the goal. And that's what we like to see. Wind gets the first hit, but he hits it slightly high, which hits it over Gandalf. Fortunately, it's up into the corner. Gandalf is able to get there in time. It's a 2-2 ball game. Front flips actually stops the ball. A surprising play there. I would have expected him to let that go. But he stops the ball as Wind was turning around. Really an unfortunate play here. If you look here, he does front back flip, which stops the ball right after Wind got the boost. A questionable play. I'm curious if he was expecting Wind to think he wasn't going to hit it and fly past him. But Wind knows while the ball's stationary, anyone can hit it regardless of their mechanical skill.
You gotta get it quicker.
Now, really, this one's fairly straightforward. Gandalf expecting Wind not to boost forward, knowing that it's beneficial. Knowing that it's beneficial to get the second hit, but boosting forward and not actually flipping. This tends to send the ball higher over the top of Gandalf as he's coming forward for an easy goal. No way he can respond. Both players really trying to work on their joust mechanics. It's what we like to see.
Oof.
Oh,
Really surprising Wind managed to get that. If you watched, Gandalf actually did get the outplay on the 1v1. He flipped the ball over the top of Wind, but Wind was able to use what remained left of his boost to get to the goal inside, stop his car entirely, front flip and get the ball out of his goal. Gandalf, fully expecting a goal there, didn't really leave himself enough room to get back in time for the block. And this is what we like to see from Wind. A mechanically focused player getting the mechanical play. Once he's figured out Gandalf's mind games, he's able to capitalize on his mechanical advantage. That's what we like to see from the younger player. The newer player, you know, their hands a little bit younger, a little bit less arthritis, blows him up just as a bad manners. If you watch it one more time, Gandalf comes in for the block, and Wind says, "Get out of my game," blows him up, shoots the ball straight, doesn't even jump, walks off to the left. Cool kids don't look at explosions.
That's right.
Brings the lead up to 4 goals, 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. Unless we can see the Gandalf that we saw from the beginning of this game, perhaps changing his tactics out, I don't know if we'll see a comeback. He was able to get a 2-goal advantage early in the game, though, through the mind games. We'll see if he's able to change his tactics up. It looks like he is. He's actually going for the player more than the ball, trying to blow up Wind. It is actually an interesting strategy, because when you take out your opponent in a 1v1 situation, there's no one to actually defend the goal. So most players, regardless of skill level, can score a goal versus no opponent. We'll see if he's able to capitalize it. He has refined his strategy slightly and is more going for the ball now. Wind does get the arrow, shoots it back into the goal. Gandalf does manage to get the stop. I don't expect a goal here, as it does get shot out to the side. Both players going up on the wall. Wind gets position. Gandalf is there to block, though. Gandalf does miss the ball, but Wind misses it well. I think Gandalf expected Wind to hit it, who actually missed the ball there, and he would have been in a position to block, but Wind boosted past it. It might have been a bit of a misclick on the analog stick, probably hitting it diagonally instead of forward, which is what he was expecting. Now in that play, once it came off the corners, you can watch here, Gandalf does get the block off the reverse. The problem is Wind was already in the aerial, and this is where we like to talk about aerials. So, when you go up high, most people will jump off and will generally hit the ball before you because they have the momentum. Since you, even while boosting, you don't quite have the momentum of someone on the ground. While in midair, you want to try to juke your opponent into hitting the ball first, which is what we saw there. Now here, again, it looks like Gandalf's pretty much given up. Again, if there was a surrender button in Rocket League, it probably would have been hit by now. A 6-point lead on the side of Wind. 7 points now off the break. I don't think there's anywhere for Gandalf to come back. Even if Wind were to stop playing, I don't think he can physically make 7 goals in 50 seconds.
I got him away. Oh shit.
But we'll see if he's able to get any more for the fantasy points. I know some people were excited about Gandalf taking the stand. Even off the free goal, Wind doesn't move. He still hits it too hard, hitting it high off the top of the goalpost and having it bounce back into his territory, even with the free goal. Wind jumping straight over the top of him, stopping with a quick backflip to stop his own momentum. Now, believe it or not, I know this game is 10-2, but that was actually a brilliant play. If you watch here, hits the ball, backflips for the position, and then boosts into the ball. Had this been in a professional match instead of the show match, that would have been applauded as a fantastic outplay. Unfortunately, with it being 10-2, you know, it's really, Gandalf's just here more for the name than anything else. But we do get to see some fantastic plays. Anyone watching at home, if you're trying to improve your Rocket League play, bear this in mind. As you see here, Wind grabs the boost away from Gandalf as he makes the long shot. Honestly, even without the boost, he probably could have front flipped forward and made the same play because it bounced off the side of the goal. He didn't really necessarily need the air on that one. Well, the air was the credit. Now, Gandalf, knowing that his opponent is not going to leave the goal to try to get the outplay, does stop and actually boost forward. The problem is he front flipped. Generally speaking, when you try to get a free goal, you want the ball to go up in the air, and when you front flip, it actually keeps it low. And it's that kind of mechanical play that
What
lets
are you doing? Stop
Win
ready.
get
It's
the
fine.
victory.
Wait, is best 7? No.
Ah.
He's gonna die. Corey's gonna die.
I can't even send over to the analyst desk. Like, I was gonna try to, and I just can't. Alright, we're done here. I'm too drunk. I can't keep doing this. It's so hard. It's so hard. Like, I don't know if you guys have any idea how hard that is to do.
Yo, I'm so proud of you though.